anybody else hear me?
Oh yeah.
do plan on stock tip. And all that. And then we will roll up.
NASCAR stuff, you can wreck your car.
I didn't see it until it was too late. Sorry, Larry, and sorry, Stan.
We wanted to make this as as possible. Schiller going around.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry.
Danza going around, so slowly learning that there are some flaws things put out.
Would be 2 points. Getting into somebody, just knocking them around a little bit, would be 2 points, and then just a really serious incident would be upwards of 4 points. So those all add up over the course of 17. That becomes your car is.
the guy that's hosting this event for us tonight, and we've been working tirelessly with him and Chris Goodacre and Jeremy Banning from Ileana Stock Car Radio. We've been almost every night kind of working on this to make it as realistic as possible. it's just it's a cool deal to have almost 40, current and former Grundy County Speedway drivers. It's cool to have, before we even went live, I saw there was, 300-400 people watching the feed. I don't see that on my end. I don't know if one of you guys see it, but like I said, kind of interesting. As you look to the clock to the left, you'll see now we are in qualifying mode, 15 minutes, but drivers will only get 3 of those 15. We're going to use some of that time to set lineups, do our opening ceremonies, to where we should be racing in about 15 minutes. So first race should be going green at about 8 o'clock tonight. So qualifying underway, and we'll have some times for you momentarily. We'll just let you watch a little bit of the action and see the times as they start to get posted up there.
Hey, Steve, I'll give you the perspective of a car owner with this whole deal. I mean, even
sure,
it's so realistic. I mean, even watching the cars go around and then, guys bumping off of stuff here and there. I mean, I still cringe and jump and go, oh, that's what that's going to cost and the damage to that and what's it going to do to the car. And I got to remind myself, we're in a game here. We're in a game. This is not the real deal, but you feel the atmosphere staring at the screen that you're at the track, you're in the track, and you're trying to do everything you can to help your car go forward. So that's a pretty cool.
Yeah, and you only get 2 laps. Like I said, you go out there and, a lot of these guys are turning their best lap, maybe 10, 15 laps into a session or whatever. This, you're only getting a couple laps to turn it down. So that's why the times are a little bit different than what you see during the actual race. As we look now, actually Stan Zolod's to the top of the charts, and Anthony Danta, who's been on the top of the charts all week, sitting in the 6th spot with a 13.544. Zolod's fast time so far with a 13.451. Kevin Gentile with a nice run, second quick with a 1.3.459. Blake Brown, third quick, 13.497. Cody Clubb, he's been in the top 5 all day in that 23 car with a 1.3.512. So it's kind of weird to see some of these guys that have been in the top 10 most of the day, and then now qualifying rolls around and they're sitting outside the top 12, and now they might, be worried a little bit that, they might not be in the show. They might have to race their way into the show. And in those last chance qualifiers, anything can happen.
Yeah, that is definitely a position you don't want yourself in. We were in that position last year for the Bentonhausen, and that is just that's an evil spot to be in. You hate to use the word desperate, but you are. You're trying to do everything you can do to make sure you make the show, and being in that spot is tough. So you just got to kind of calm down, do your thing. You've been running good all week, and just make it happen. Try not to make a mistake. But I mean, you could just feel the nervousness, to get in the show. I'm nervous, and it's just part of it. When racing's got a hold of you, no matter what it is, you're just you're into it and hoping the best, and just cheering on your crew, your team.
Well, I don't know if you should be nervous or not, because I believe, like we said, it's a 15-minute session, but only the first 3 minutes of qualifying count. So with 11:22 still on the clock, qualifying should be complete. And if that is the case, on top of the boards, fast time with a 1.3.451, the number 33 of Stan Zolod's. So he followed up his top 5 practice runs and race runs this week and put that car on the pole for tonight's race with fast time. If we could, maybe we'll get a graphic going across the screen, kind of showing all of the qualifying runs to see where your favorite driver ended up here tonight. So unofficial results: Stan Zolod, fast time; Kevin Gentile, second; Blake Brown, third; Cody Clubb, Matt Clemens rounding out your top 5; Anthony Danta, who's been fast all day; Paul Schaefer Jr., DJ Weltmeyer, Dallas Frew, Andy Jones will be your top 10. Chad Proctor, Tristan Batson, James Gregate, Dan Janjanin, Chris Sontag, Brandon Norris, Brian Tedeschi, Wayne Coleman, the final qualifier to get in on time. So bummer for Timothy Scroggum and Clayton Kurtz, but there is a silver lining. Those two drivers will start on the pole in their two qualifying races. So if you're going to have to go through a last chance race, that's where you want to be. 21st in the Kevin Murphy, number 427, driving for him tonight, Dave Gentile. It says Eric Chester, but that's really Matt Chester, your pure stock champion. Connor Kosowski, Mitch Garfield, Matt Moniak, Rick Wilson, Cameron Preisler, Anthony Brody, Colton Ix, and Bob Stone round out your top and Larry Schuler. No time for the 46 of Phil Martin. He is our race director, so not racing, but still in the room. So 37 cars have taken time, and only 18 of them are in the show. So it's going to be a little hectic when we get ready for those qualifying races. And we'll have that action for you in about 9 minutes. While we have a few minutes, we got a graphic we can pop up and show you our sponsors for tonight. We were so fortunate to get people that wanted to help with this broadcast, help us down the road. We're going to broadcast these races on Friday nights. You could go to a league race and you could just do it within the league, and nobody would see it. The fans wouldn't see it. Your friends, your crew members, nobody would see it. There'd be no announcer like this. There'd be really no camera angles that you're seeing. You would just see a regular race. So we wanted to give it to you this style. And like I said, a bunch of people came on board and wanted to help us out with, some sponsorship and some other things and everything else. And like I said, we want to kind of give them a shout out here and let you fans know all the people that have kind of helped us out. First person we got to thank, obviously, the Grundy County Speedway, Shup Real Estate, and everything that Stan Zolans has done when he reached out to me and wanted to sponsor the race and help us in any way possible. That kind of gave us the idea that, hey, maybe we can do something with this. The Drive-In DJ Network, that's who is hosting this race, DJ Weltmeyer. Excuse me. If you can, give that page a like, give it a follow. It really helps him out. And like I said, you'll get notified of next week's races. Ileana Stock Car Radio, Jeremy and Chris, live podcasts every week. You can find them on Facebook as well. And they're in the broadcast booth with me here tonight. Danimal Racing, Dan was the first one to jump on board and give us some support here for the races tonight. So we want to thank him. Deanna Farron and everybody at South Bank Original Barbecue in Yorkville just opened some carry-out stuff today, so now you can get your favorite barbecue from South Bank Original Barbecue. Proctor and Jane Janin Racing came on board pretty early. Allison and Frank at Danter Racing came on board and helped us out. The Gentile family, Starrick Racing, Morgan's Closet. You can follow them on Facebook, or you can also see him on the Midway at the Grundy County Speedway. Bob's down every Friday night selling you all kinds of cool NASCAR stuff, die-cast cars for the kids, and he's also going to be at the Racing Memorabilia Show August 9th in Peatone. Has a lot of great deals, a lot of great cars. If you're looking for anything NASCAR related, go over to Morgan's Closet on Facebook, give him a like, and he can help you out if you're looking for something. Dobcheck Racing, number 17. Danielle, we appreciate the support. Bobby Jean and Ryan Johnson showing some support this week. Tim Z Racing, want to thank him for all his support all week long and help with some of the graphics that he's done. DJ Helwig, Brittany and Zach at B&Z Racing, Matt Moniak, Christy Odom Racing, Ross Racing, Mark, and that whole group, Foster Electric. We thank them for their support. My partner in crime in the Grundy County booth up there every Friday night, Brittany Buchholz, helping out with some support. And then, of course, our favorite videographer, Damn It Race Videos. You can find him on Facebook. You can have him on YouTube. And James actually sponsored the Fast Time Award tonight. $50 is going to go to Stan Zolad setting fast time tonight. So we appreciate all the support we got from the sponsors. We're going to finish working on those lineups, and we'll have something soon with some racing. We're going to Have about 5 minutes left to go. Probably in another couple of minutes, we will go to our opening ceremonies, and that'll conclude. And then we will be ready for last chance qualifier number 1. Again, taking the top 3 out of that race, top 3 out of the second qualifying race, and then everybody else that still did not make the show, they will line up according to how they finished in the qualifying races, and they will run one final last chance race. And the winner, I believe, yes, the winner will also go on to the show to give us a field of 25. I had to add that up real quick in my head. So going to be interesting. About 4.5 minutes left until racing is set to begin. As you kind of see the different sites of our racetrack. Again, is not too accurate with the red and white that you're used to at Grundy County, but Grundy County Speedway is not on the iRacing network. A lot of local tracks are not, but Southern National is. And talking to drivers, they said this was probably the closest track that we had that matched Grundy. So that's the one that we decided to go with.
Hey, Steve, go over real quick with the qualifying races. So the top 2 of each one are going to the show, or what's the deal with those?
I believe the top 3 will. So that'll put us at 24 cars, 18 through qualifying, and then another 6, 3 and 3 with the qualifying races will put us at 24 cars, and then only the winner of the last chance race will be the driver that transfers in. So
yeah, we're gonna see some serious excitement with those. I would think just about everybody's give a damn will break in the middle of that race. It's gonna be super exciting.
Yeah, we like I said, there's going to be some wrecks. We've seen it all week, and we're ready for it, and we'll see what happens. Got about 3 minutes left to go here, getting ready for our opening ceremonies. National Anthem coming out pretty soon, and we'll be racing before you know it, fans. Well, fans, if you could, on your feet, remove your hats for the playing of tonight's National Anthem.
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Just about ready to get underway here tonight. As we mentioned, 2 qualifying races on tap. Drivers' meeting is over, so drivers know what is expected of them. Doesn't mean we're going to get what is expected of them, but we shall see what happens.
Well, we can't have this too far away from reality.
Exactly, especially opening night. Guys haven't been in race cars in forever. The track's a little bit cool. I mean, it's a little bit different than when it's July and it's 85, 90 degrees out. I mean, a little chilly here tonight, and this actually follows the same, weather forecast as that we have in real time here. So
Yeah, let's see if we can get a really fancy, cool graphic showing what the track temperature is. Maybe. There we go.
It's like you snapped your fingers, man.
So it looks like we got 67 degrees air temperature, wind out of the north at 2. That's not bad. You know, I think it's pretty good racing weather right there.
Well, the Baker Ford pace car is on the track, waiting for flagman Greg Kuntz to get up in the booth, and we will be racing shortly.
Yeah, I'll take this over most opening nights that I've been bundled up wearing 3 layers and then a hoodie on top of that. This is perfect.
See, the car is now starting to stage for qualifying race number 1. See Tim Scroggum on the pole in the 19 car. Next to him in the 427 is Dave Gentile Jr. That's our feature lineup that is showing and not our qualifying lineups. Again, we'll still working on some technical stuff. We're all with that. Row 2 will be the 43 of Connor Kosowski and the 41 of Matt Moniak. Row 3, the 5 of Cameron Chrysler and the 86 of Colton Ix. Josh Nelms and Jason Hendren. Row 4, Brandon Clubb and Larry Schuler will round out this 10-car field. Top 3 make it. Everybody else will go to the last chance race.
I don't know about you, Steve, but I kind of got virtual goosebumps going on here. We're about to go racing in 2020.
Yeah, this is exciting. We'll see what happens. I hope these guys keep it clean. Rod Baker Ford pace car off the speedway, and we are racing. Scroggum in the 19, side by side. Gentile with the advantage up top in the 427. Still side by side through the field the first 3 rows. Now Moniak kind of hung up to dry on the high side. Let's see what he can do. Is he going to try to get down or hang on for dear life on the high side? Gentile, your leader. Scroggum in second. Kosowski side by side with the 41 of Moniak for third. Colton Ix in the 5th spot if he wants to make the feature.
Contact in the backstretch.
Moniak into the wall, came down, got into the 86 of Colton Ix.
Yeah, let's see if we can back up a second here.
That was some hard contact and tough break. Those 2 drivers were both trying to transfer in. We're just outside of the top 5 as we go to instant replay.
Looks like Moniak a little high out of 2 catches the wall down the backstretch, which not that unrealistic because Grundy, as anybody that's been on the track knows, the backstretch wall is anything but straight.
So tough break as Moniak heads down to the infield to get that car worked on. Tough break for him. Good break for the 43 of Connor Kosowski, who is now in that 3rd transfer spot. But lining up alongside of him on this restart will be the 5 of Cameron Chrysler. So we'll see what the young pure stock driver can do with the rookie legend driver. Kosowski, Super Cup champion last year, been setting the Super Cup series on fire the last couple of years with a bunch of feature wins, moving up to the Legends division. He's in that final transfer spot. The 5 wants it. Your front row is set. The 427 of Gentile, the 19 of Scroggum in 5th. That is the 34 of Josh Nelms, and you know he wants to be in this Bettenhausen 100. So we'll see what happens. 3 laps down out of 15. Pace car to the infield, and we are racing. Now Scroggum with the jump from the high side. The high side's been good so far on both restarts. A little bit of bouncing and banging.
Oh, and we got a wreck in turn 3 there.
Tough
See if
break.
I can get car
Schuler
numbers.
in the
Get
20
Blair Schuler.
Brandon Club.
And Steve, that kind of looked like just a bit of a racing deal. We get seems like a thing on this service is we get these cars stacked up really close like that and don't always make it around.
Well, we hope it doesn't stay like this. We hope these guys can sort it out. Again, a lot of these guys pretty new to iRacing. A lot of these guys haven't been on iRacing in a while. If they have participated, they got the wheels out of mothballs, and we're trying to get as much practice as they could this week. So far, it looks like the front row has had it the safest. Whoever's on the outside has gotten the jump. So Scroggum and Gentile seem good on that last restart. Chrysler got by the 43 of Kasowski, so now they have switched for that transfer spot. Hendren avoiding all the carnage so far, and he's up there in the top 5 as well. And then everybody behind him, I believe, are all cars that have been caught up in these first couple of caution that we have had in this race. Caution laps do not count. We made a calculated decision, which probably means we flipped a coin. And for the 100 lapper tonight, we didn't want the caution laps to count. So we're kind of hoping it gets pretty clean and green in there with some of the faster paced drivers. Some of these drivers obviously a little bit off the pace and qualifying time, and we'll see how this sorts out with Gentile and Scroggum on the front row.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to go back green flag racing again.
Scroggum now the inside for the first time as Wurkowski head on into the wall. Keeps it going though. No caution, which is what Tim Scroggum wants to see. Chrysler now up to second. And
we got a wreck out of turn 4, looks like.
No harm, no foul there. We'll keep it green. Schuler sitting sideways still on the front stretch. Looks like him and the 20 of Club may have gotten into it again with each other. So not the way Larry Schuler wanted to start the 2020 season. The same with Brandon Club. Now, both of those drivers involved in their second caution of the night. It's like Club a little bit sideways. Schuler just trying to avoid him and goes around.
Yep, and situations like that, I think it's probably a lot to do with the mental disconnect you kind of have going in, having experience driving an actual physical race car versus just kind of being surrounded by computer monitors. It's not quite the same physical sensation. You kind of got to rely on what you can see in the monitor and what you can hear through your computer speakers versus, the actual feel of the cars on the track. And if you bump into somebody, there's a physical car there that you feel.
Well, one thing too that we forgot to mention, and I probably should now, these races do have time limits on them. So even though this is a 15 lap event, a 10-minute time limit. So we're down to 2 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. So if we can go green the rest of the way, that should be no problem. We get another couple of cautions, this might end with still laps left on the board, which would be great for Scroggum, Chrysler, and Gentile. We want to get these races in. We don't want you fans here all night. So we put time limits on these races, and so far 3 cautions in and only 6 laps complete. Seemed like a smart decision to do here tonight. Looks like the field's going to double up. And now for the first time all night, Gentile not in the front row for a restart. Scroggum got a nice jump on the inside last time, but now there's a new player on the outside the 5. That's pure stock driver Cameron Chrysler. So let's see what they can do as they head to the line.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag waving again. little bit of contact out of 2 into the backstretch, but it looks like everybody going to keep going. No caution. Looks like Club pulled off the track.
Keep an eye on that transfer spot. Colton Nix, driver that was involved in the first yellow, now up to third. Gentile, who was in the top 3 all race long, goes around. Let's see if he can get it going again.
We are going to be under yellow.
Does not. Yellow flag on the Speedway with 1:36 left on the clock. Hopefully this is a quickie yellow. Well, I should say hopefully it's a quickie yellow, but some drivers, they hope it's not, because for those top 3 that are already locked in, Colton Nix, driver that was involved in the first yellow, went to the tail end of the field. He's in a transfer spot right now, so he hopes this is a time limit race, but we'll see what happens. Matt Moniak, another driver that was part of the first caution, we'll see what he can do too. So gonna see what happens with the time.
And getting word over the radio here that we should remind everybody that you're watching this on the Driving DJ Network, and I would be remiss if I don't go full on auto script here and say that he is a Midwestern super late model racing team. They stream iRacing, race some iRacing. Tonight we're broadcasting the Bettenhausen 100 from the not quite Grundy County Motor Speedway. We're at Southern National tonight. That's a fairly accurate stand-in, aside from the wall coloring.
Yeah, the Driving DJ Network, they are broadcasting this race. They are streaming it for us. If you could, give the page a like, give it a follow, share it, let your friends see this. We're here for a while still. This is just the qualifying races. Still have the big Bettenhausen 100 still to go. So share this as you can on your page. I want to see it all over Facebook, and I'd love to see big numbers watching this race, and we'll see if we'll do the broadcast maybe next week as well too. And if tonight goes well, our plans were to broadcast this first race, and then we were going to open it up and have another street stock series go with this, and we'll see how everything goes to see if we're actually going to broadcast these races or not. So field doubling up one more time. Green flag. Chrysler now with the power move on the outside. He's going to clear your leader, Moniak. Little bit of Scrogum on 2 wheels, gets into the wall. Him and Moniak. Some contact.
Oh, Moniak and Gentile contact on the front stretch.
And this race looks like it is going to end under time limit. So tough break for Scrogum, who was in the top 3 the whole race. Cameron Chrysler only led 1 lap, but that's all he needed to do. And he is going to transfer into the Bettenhausen 100 along with the 86 car of Colton Nix, and I believe the 24 of Jason Hendren are our 3 transfer cars. We'll clarify that and get back to you. Meanwhile, wasting no time, qualifying race number 2 now. Staging on the racetrack, on the pole, last year's late model rookie of the year, the 88 of Clay Kurtz. Next to him, the 73 of Matt Chester. Row 2, the 118 of Mitch Garfield, and the 1 of Rick Wilson. The next row, the 98 of Tony Grudy, and the 42 of Bob Stone. Behind them will be the 57 of Ricky Wilson, in the 08 of former Pure Stock champion DJ Workmeister, and out back the 63 of Brad Plunkett. So 9 cars going to do battle 15 laps here in qualifying race number 2.
Yep, and Steve, I remember there was a practice race we called earlier this week. Both Wilsons were in, and see if we can get another Wilson sandwich going tonight.
Yeah, they were running pretty good in the top 5. Clayton Kurtz, a late entrant into this event, practiced as well. So Bob Stone, who hasn't been behind the wheel of a race car in many years. I know Rick Bill from Victory Lane is watching and cheering him on. So definite mix of drivers here, current drivers, former drivers. pure stock drivers, late model drivers. So we'll see what happens here in qualifying race number 2. Rod Baker Ford pace car off the Speedway. Green flag. We are racing. Kurtz, your early leader. Garfield trying to make a move to the inside for second. Chester off the wall. Keeps it going, though. He'll drop back to third. Rick Wilson in the 1. Trying to get down to the inside of him with Tony.
Bob Stone and Rick Wilson. Contact on the front stretch.
So the cautions continue.
Looks like Workmeister got a cut of that too.
So the field will realign here. Clay Kurtz, your leader. Mitch Garfield in second. Chester, who had problems and a little bit of contact with the wall, in third. Now, don't forget the last qualifying race, some of those drivers that transferred and worked their way up were involved in some early cautions. So just because you go to the tail early on, there's still time to work your way back through the field. But as we said, 10-minute time limit on this race as well. You saw how the first one ended. So hopefully we can get all the way to the end of these 15 laps for qualifying race number 2. Again, fans, if you're liking this broadcast, give us a like on the Grundy County Facebook page, on the Drive and DJ Network. Like it. Follow it, give us a share, let all your friends and family know what you're doing here tonight. You're not at the real Grundy County Speedway. We're still doing our darndest to see when we can open and maybe get some practice in and some racing. But until then, we'll give you this on Friday night. So let your friends and family and all the race fans in your life know where you're at tonight, and let them know it's not too late to tune in and check out some racing on the Drive and DJ Network.
Yep, Steve, looks like we've stacked the field back up. Should be going green this time, I think.
So Garfield with the move on the outside to get around the 88.
Wilson around in 4. I think Wilson and Clay Kurtz, a little contact through the turn. No caution. Everybody getting the car back underway.
So Garfield with a nice lead. Kurtz pretty comfortably in that second spot. Third is where the battle is. The 98 of Grundy trying to get into that final transfer spot, held by the 73 of Matt Chester. Ricky Wilson in the 57 trying to get himself up there in the mix. He knows that only the top 3 transfer. Now Grundy making the pass. He'll move into the third spot and starting to put a little distance between him and the 73 of Chester. Chester got into the wall on the initial start of the race. Might have a little damage that's making that car not handle the greatest. So maybe that's why he's kind of falling back through the field. Up front, though, no problem for our top 2, the 118 of Mitch Garfield and the 88 of Clay Kurtz. Now, will they play it safe and just both transfer in, Or does Kurtz maybe have visions of wanting to put that 88 car into victory lane? We'll see how that plays out with about 5 laps to go. Take a in-car camera with the 88 of Clay Kurtz right on the rear bumper of the 118 car.
Yeah, I don't think Clay's going to be content riding around. I think Clay's going to be hunting for victory lane.
We'll see how it plays out. Some lap.
Got a little contact in turn 2. Looks like Wilson and I believe Brad Plunkett involved. No caution.
Coming up on Rick Wilson in the 1 and DJ Workmeister in the 08 as Workmeister bounces off the wall. Wilson up high. He'll let the leaders by. Let's see what happens with the rest of the field now as they come up to the 57 of Ricky Wilson. Let's see where he goes. Right in the way of the leaders. He'll go up high now as Garfield goes around to the inside. Next up will be the 08 of DJ Weltmeyer as they put him, or Workmeister, I should say, excuse me, as they put him a lap down. So still nose to tail for the lead. Wilson behind him gets sideways in the 1.
It's like Clay Kurtz tried to make a drag race out of it, but Mitch Garfield bringing home the win in the second qualifying race.
So Garfield, Clay Kurtz, and Tony Brudy in the 98 car will transfer into the main event. Screen is showing warm-up. I don't know if we're doing the warm-up. We still have a last chance race left to go. So I don't know if our race director is aware of this or not. Maybe might have put the warm-up in the wrong position. And I definitely know it's not going to be for 30 minutes. So we'll work on the back end of this and see if we can get this all taken care of. I know we still have a last chance race left to go. And then we were going to do a scuff session to let the drivers that have qualified in already, if they wanted to take some laps, and we would let them get a few hot laps before the start of the 100 lapper. So again, our first time doing this, first time working with this race director, first time working with the announce team, the producers, the group that's streaming it. We're gonna figure this out. First time we've actually done a program all the way through. So this is the first time we've kind of come up with some hiccups. Most of our stuff has just been practice sessions and then a feature race. So trying to put an actual card together for the whole night with qualifying and last chance races and qualifying races and then a feature a little bit maybe more difficult. So like I said, this is our first time working on this. So we're going to work on that. And again, I'm sure they can hear me. We're going to cut up this warm up to where it's not going to be a 30-minute session. We're going to get the last chance race lined up. They have to go through all the finishes of the qualifying races, and once they get all that taken care of, they can make that final lineup for the last chance race. So we'll see how that's gonna shake out. While we have some time, I want to go over again some of our sponsors that we have for this race. Couldn't have done it without them. So as we go to some practice here, and I'm going to be on a different screen. If we change out of it, I won't be able to see it, but I'll go to my other screen. And again, want to just thank some sponsors here: the Grundy County Speedway, Stan Zolod's and Shump Real Estate, DJ Weltmeyer and the Driving DJ Network, Jeremy and Chris with Ileana Stock Car Radio, Danimal Racing, South Bank Original Barbecue out of Yorkville, Procter and Jan Racing, Dancer Racing, the Gentile Family, Starrick Racing, Morgan's Closet. You can find them on Facebook, and the Midway at the Grundy County Speedway selling their NASCAR apparel. Dobchek Racing, Bob and Ryan Johnson, Tim Z Racing, DJ Hellwig, Brittany and Zach at B&Z Racing, Matt Moniak, Christy Odom Racing. Man, a lot of racing, but we love the support. Ross Racing, Mark Ross with Foster Electric, Brittany Buchholz, and Dammit Race Videos, all coming on board to help out this broadcast and, like I said, get us, kind of in the right direction and, trying to do some stuff and kind of cover some of the costs of doing this, and also putting up some purse money for the drivers for qualifying. We already announced Dan Zolad's fast time tonight. He's going to get $50. And then our feature event, the top 5 drivers are going to bring home some real cash, not that virtual stuff that we've been talking about all night. So not a bad deal for the drivers tonight. If anybody, I keep getting messages, if anybody wants to make another donation to the broadcast where can cover some of the broadcast fees for the next, group of races during the season, and also for tonight's purse, you can do that. PayPal, you can send us through PayPal at info@shorttracknews.com. And I'll say that again, you can PayPal to info@shorttracknews.com. Or if you know who I am, Steve Bechtel, I'm on Facebook. You can send money through Facebook if you'd like to do it that way. If you don't know how to do it, don't ask me to explain it to you, because I don't know how. I just had somebody send me money and it ended up in my PayPal account, so that worked for us. But again, if you'd like to contribute to the broadcast for the purse for future races, you can either send Steve Bechtel money through Facebook, through Messenger, or you can send it through PayPal. And the username is info@shorttracknews.com. And we appreciate the donations that we get and all the ones from the sponsors that we just listed for making this event possible here tonight. Still not getting any word on what we're doing with the warm-up. Like I said, I knew we had a warm-up session and place. Did not think it was going to be 30 minutes long, so we'll still waiting to hear confirmation on that. I know this will probably supersede then the one that we were going to have later, which means this will be the only warm-up that we are having. After this, as long as it goes, then we will have a last chance race, and then we will go into our 100-lap Bentonhausen 100 feature presented by Shump Real Estate. 7 of James Brigade. You see him out there on the Speedway. The 9 at Dallas. So again, maybe we can throw up the overlay with the driver names. So then that way, as you see these drivers going around, you can actually see who they are. Brian Tedeschi in the 29 car. 99 of Matt Clemens. No numbers on that car, but he's been fast all week. Behind the 24 of Jason Hendren, who just transferred in to the race a little bit earlier in one of those qualifying races, I believe with a 3rd place finish. Well, we got some times. I mean, hey, it's real racing, virtual racing. It doesn't matter. Even with virtual racing, I still have my shout outs and my happy birthday messages. So want to wish a happy birthday to Mama Dobbs, Laura Dobchek, from everybody at Dobchek Racing. Want to wish a happy birthday to Denise Johnson from the Killer Double Trouble Posse. Happy birthday to Trevor Starrick, driver of the number 79 Pure Stock, from everybody at Starrick Racing Team. And a happy birthday later this week to Bob Wall from Bobby, Jean, and Ryan. So happy birthday to all of you. Also want to give a couple shout outs. Obviously, Rick Bill from our favorite racing show, Victory Lane, every Monday night. I know he was pretty excited to watch this event and watch his co-host Bob Stone, who, if he's going to make it tonight, he's going to have to transfer in through the last chance race. So Rick, thanks for tuning in. The Patterson Racing Group watching from home. I miss my racetrack people. So Dean and Patty, hope you guys are well and hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And then my Zoom posse, usually on Friday nights, I've just been getting together with some people I know in racing, and we've been doing some Zoom chats. And tonight I kind of had to put that on hold, and we'll get together after the races. So Denise and Renee, Danielle, everybody else in our rooms, I want to give a shout out to you guys while we got some practice going on here as we follow the 57 of Ricky Wilson, 86 car of Colt Nix, who transferred in. Paul Schaefer, the winner of last year's Bettenhausen at Grundy in the 20 car. Winner of back-to-back Bettenhausen races. He'd love to have the virtual one as well, but the two of D&J and Jane in a little bit of contact. Man, there's a lot of cars out there on this racetrack. Dan Zolodger Polson trying to get some laps, trying to make that car a little bit better. Maybe the transition from qualifying while the sun was still out to racing in the evening. More cars going around. Again, just a warm-up session. We're 10 minutes into it. Again, have not gotten any confirmation how much longer this is going to go, so apologize, fans. Did not think we were going to have a 30-minute practice session in the middle of the program. I still think they're working on it to see if they can maybe shrink that down or if they can do something with it. Until I hear something, no, not really sure. I think they are trying to fix it, is the message I just got. Also got to give a shout out to Bubba, my NFL draft partner, man. Made some awesome prime rib last week. We need some prime rib every Friday night when we're watching some virtual Grundy County Speedway racing here on the Drive-In DJ Network. More cars getting together. Man, they're tearing up some stuff in this practice session. So if practice times mean anything, Anthony Danta, who was fast earlier, did not get the qualifying time that he wanted, but he's fastest now in this session, along with Tristan Batson. Again, the top two drivers all week. Cody Clubb has been up in the top 5 most of the day. In third, Chad Proctor, a new face, showing up there in the top 10 tonight. In fourth, Dallas Frew had a good run. He's still up there in the top 5 in the 9 car out there on the track, taking a few more laps. And then Stan Zolodz. Looks like Zolodz and Danta kind of flip-flopped. Danta qualified 6th quick, and now he's the fastest car in practice, where Zolodz set fast time, but only 6th spot overall in practice. On pit road making some changes. Kevin Gentile right in front of him, 7th quick in the 02 in this practice session. Former Illiana Speedway champion Blake Brown in the 71 is in 8th. And then a driver that transferred out of one of those qualifying races, the 88 car, Clay Kurtz in the 9th spot. Rounding out your top 10, you can't have a Grundy race without that familiar Sontag green, Chris Sontag, rounding out your top 10 cars here in practice as we go through the rest of the field some more. So again, still have the last chance race to go, and then the 100 lap Bettenhausen 100 presented by Shuck Real Estate. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for jumping on board here tonight. The Drive-In DJ Network. If you could give that channel a follow, a like, share the video. You can share the video off of the Grundy County Facebook page. And if you're watching this and you know somebody that can't watch it live, you can go back and watch it afterwards. So if somebody wants to come in tomorrow and they missed tonight's broadcast, as we watch Andy Jones and that throwback Felpro Tom Jones paint job. You can come back tomorrow or whenever you'd like to watch our inaugural broadcast here of the Grundy County Speedway Late Model Super Series. Danta on the top of the chart, still trying to make that car a little bit better. The 427 of Gentile, who looked like he was going to lock in through one of those qualifying races behind him. He's going to try to transfer into the last chance race. Okay, well, just getting word, as we have mentioned, our first attempt at doing this and setting up a complete race program. So there was a problem with lining up the last chance race. So what race officials have done, and it's not as simple as just a real race where we can just schedule stuff whenever we want. If it's not booked in, there's no physical way to get the race added to the iRacing program. So what we're doing is, instead of taking cars from the last chance race, we are just going to take the top 5 from each of those qualifying races and then one random provisional. And that went to the 19. It's been done. Lineups are done. We should have maybe just taken the top 4 from the heat races instead of the top 3. We'll work on that for next weekend. So 29 cars are going to start the Bentonhausen 100. I don't have those results from the qualifying races, so I can't tell you who those other 2 cars are, but once the lineup gets posted for the actual Bentonhausen 100, we'll let you. So again, we're working hard over here behind the scenes on the Driving DJ Network. I hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast as we're working the behind the scenes portion of it. As it looks now, about another 13 minutes left of practice, so that's plenty of time to head to the refrigerator and grab another pluses and minuses from watching racing at home on a Friday evening. So as our crews still work trying to get everything put together.
Well, Steve, it wouldn't be opening night if we didn't have all the opening night issues.
Yeah, like I said, it's gone, pretty well. A lot of stuff, out of our control. And at the beginning, we started a little bit late, and that was a server issue doing an update literally right as we were getting ready to start the race. So that was a problem. We had it shows up in your memories. You can just skip right past that first little bit of problems, and you can skip right past this half-hour warm-up in the middle of the program, and you won't even hear this message. So it all works out for everybody. In the end, we're having fun. So many great people, just excited to have something to do. If we can't be at Grundy County Speedway tonight, we can at least kind of have some Grundy County Speedway racing here tonight on Facebook on the Drive and DJ Network. So following around there, the 29 of Brian Tedeschi. Warm-ups are just about done. I'm being told we may have 10 minutes of warm-up that are going to be wiped, so this might be ending soon. And then we are going to start gridding the cars for the fast time. Stan Zolad, Steve from the Grundy booth. You got a copy?
I do have a copy, Steve.
Stan, you had to be excited. You've been fast all week, and then finally to put that lap together in quick time and a little bit of extra cash in your pocket from Damn It Dim It race videos. You got to be pretty excited heading into the 100-lapper.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Yeah, I was kind of surprised I actually made that lap, and it helped out. I was kind of scared that Danto would have definitely. He's been fast all week and everything, and I was hoping I could at least beat him there, and thankfully I.
Now you've been out there practicing a little bit, different track conditions. You learn anything in this practice session that might help you out for the
laps, and the car kind of becomes a little unstable, so it's definitely going to be pretty much a handful later in the race.
Well, Stan, we wish you luck. We're going to be hopefully staging these cars in a few minutes, and we appreciate you taking some time out for us.
Thanks. I would like some sponsors too. Shop Real Estate's the big one. Without his help, we definitely wouldn't actually have a real race car or any of the stuff we have here. King Hobbies, Hawk Bomb, and all the other sponsors we have in our car. They've been a big help for us for several years, and I got to thank all of them that help us with it.
Well, thank you, and hopefully you can put that 33 car in. 61 of Tristan Batson as he gets a little bit more stuff done to his car. Tristan, this is Steve up in the Grundy booth. You got a copy?
10-4, buddy. How you doing?
Tristan, we've talked a few times during the week. The car has been good. You've been a solid top 3, top 5 car all week. Are you happy with your piece tonight?
Bag we had going on for qualifying, but now it's definitely going back to sort of the order.
How cool is this event? I mean, we'd all love to be at Grundy County Speedway tonight, but to show up in the room and see almost 40 other drivers with you putting this program on tonight, pretty cool to be part of this first annual deal.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that'd be Wadvogel Lawn Care and Oval Engineering.
Cool. Thank you. That was Tristan Batson. And has a good starting spot for the Bentonhausen race that's going to be getting underway here soon. So less than 7 minutes here left of warm-ups. Drivers still tearing cars up on the track under practice throughout the week, but we have a feeling this guy's going to race pretty good tonight. Brian Tedeschi, Steve up in the Grundy booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Brian driving that 29 car, Grundy County Speedway, Bentonhausen 100. Man, how cool is this event?
Definitely really cool. With the given situation, it's good that we're still involved.
Everybody's saying the cars are picking up speed. How's your car during this final practice?
It's definitely really good. Just kind of had to work on the line a little bit. Kind of messed up a little bit in qualifying. I think we had the speed to be top 5 and put it P17, which, I mean, we're still in the show. It's going to be a while. So hopefully the car will be good. Race trends.
Cool. Well, Brian, today, thanks for stopping by. We wish you luck here in the. His warm up is starting to finish up. Looks like we're going to start gridding some cars here on the front stretch. It this way, man. As the cars are gridding on the front stretch, we'll go to another qualifying done. You qualified in, and that had be a good feeling for you. How you feeling with a good front row starting spot for tonight's Bentonhausen 100?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just curious to see how everything shakes out. The cars are kind of tight.
Blake, anybody you want to thank for getting you here tonight?
Yeah, might as well thank my sponsors that are on the hood for my late model back from the Grundy and Ileana days. Terry's Ford, my grandpa supported my whole racing career, so I'm still thanking him to this day for that.
Well, Blake, glad you could make the start tonight. We wish you luck here for the Bentonhausen 100.
Thank you.
So as you see, the car's backed to the inside wall. Word from the pit area that the invert tonight was a 10, dice roll of 10, which looks like it's going to put Kevin Gentile and Blake Brown on the front row. And you see the 71 Blake Brown kind of blinking and going in and out, disappearing. That's usually not a good sign on iRacing. That might mean you have a bad connection, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So cars lined up. Chris, anybody else we need to talk to on this?
Well, actually, it looks like DJ Weltmeyer is sending me some message here. Apparently, the invert is going to be 8, according to race control.
Okay. Does the 02 of Gentile and the 71 of Brown know that?
Well, it wouldn't be opening night if we didn't have stuff going on.
And normally on a regular night, I'd probably be the one in trouble for this because I can't stuff. But this one's not on me as we kind of go through the field a little bit there. The 23 of Cody Club. Yeah, I'm not really.
Honestly, I'm just kind of impressed they all managed to back their cars in like that.
I don't think this lineup is right, guys. With the 427 transferred in through one of the last chance races, so there's no way he should be all the way up there in the top 8. So hopefully this gets gridded correctly once we go back I don't know if you got contact with DJ, if these cars will grid correctly once we go to green. And fans, we apologize. Again, we're new at this. We're trying to figure everything out. I mean, you got Tristan Batson, who I know is in the 10 all the way out back. And like I said, I know that's in the wrong spot with some of these guys. So we'll see how it goes once we start gridding. I mean, this is just warm up. Maybe they just want to get the cars backed up, and as they announce them, they'll pull off the wall. So we'll see what happens. It's a surprise. You guys are surprised. I'm surprised. Blake Brown says he's curious to see what happens. I got news for you, Blake. I'm curious to see what happens too once the flag comes out. So we'll see what happens when these cars start gridding in about 60 seconds, and we'll be able to start doing some pace laps, and we'll go from there. So. So again, we were saying it a lot tonight, but if you're enjoying this, make sure you give the Grundy County Speedway Facebook page a like and a follow. Also, the Drive-In DG Network for you fans that aren't local. DJ Weltmeyer, a super late model driver here based in the Midwest, regular at the Grundy County Speedway in Morris, Illinois, set up the channel for his racing, the Drive-In DJ Network, and gracious enough to host this race tonight and racing with a bunch of his friends and the regulars at the Grundy County Speedway. So really help him out if you give his page a like and a follow, and like the race and share the race and do all that stuff that you kids do on Facebook. Yeah, I think this might be all good. So maybe backing up against the wall was for show, which definitely appreciate the effort, because that's how we used to do it at Ileana Speedway back in the day sometimes for some of those big races, and at Grundy County Speedway. Man, Tom White would have his hands full, I think, getting those cars in the proper order, proper distance apart. That might have been the hardest part of his job sometimes. When we had the big races at Grundy, or even some of that Midwest Tour stuff that he does. So Tom, if you're watching, we hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast if you're here, as the cars are starting to grid for 100 laps. If Jeremy's ready to roll with me, that's kind of not the accurate lineup because of the input. So why don't you just follow me with the cars, Jeremy, and we'll go on the pole, the 16 of DJ Weltmeyer. Next to him will be the 20 of Paul Schaefer Jr. Row 2 will be the 51 of Anthony Danta. And next to him, the 99 of Matt Clemens. Row number 3 will be the 23 of Cody Clubb and the 71 of Blake Brown. Behind him will be the 02 of Kevin Gentile, second quick time tonight. And fast qualifier, the 33 of Stan Zola. Row 5 will be the 9 of Dallas Frew and the 11 car of Andy Jones. Behind them, the 65 of Chad Proctor and the 61 of Tristan Batson. The next row will be the 7 of James Gergate and the 2 of Dan Janjanin. They'll be followed by the 3 of Chris Sonntag, the 28 of Brandon Norris, the 29 of Ronfield Colton Eckes, Clayton Kurtz. More of the drivers up front. Side-by-side battle. Schaefer in the 20, Weltmeyer in the 16, 100 laps. And hopefully we see some smart racing out of these drivers. Danta in third, Cody Clubb in the fourth spot. Schaefer looks...
I'm going to caution on the track.
Caution already.
Big pile up out of 4, looked like.
Well, we saw the 88 car of Kurtz down to the infield slow, so it looked like he might have been part of that. see if we have any replay footage of that. Was that the 88 had a problem and started from pit road? Maybe wasn't there for the gridding. So not really sure what the caution was for, but the caution out. The 427 of Dave Gentile as he goes around. It takes a couple cars with him as he backs up to get it straightened out. So we'll realign this field with DJ Waltmeyer and Paul Schaefer. Now the race director trying to, boy, this really is like a regular Friday. Nobody listening on the receivers. This is great.
Well, good news is Chuck is not physically at the racetrack, so he's not going to go chase down Clay Kurtz for hitting the cone. Looks like we're going to add a couple caution laps here. Lineup not quite where we want it to go yet.
Next week's race may take 20 cars instead of 29, but we'll play that by ear. Looks like the front half of the field is pretty much in the correct running order. Again, we had a lot of cars that got jumbled up after the yellow came out, so maybe they're in the wrong spots that we're trying to get everybody in the right running order. As we mentioned, DJ Weltmeyer, your leader, Paul Schaefer Jr. second, Anthony Danta in the third spot, and the 23 of Cody Clubb fourth, the 99 of Matt Clemens running fifth. Next to him in sixth will be the 02 of Kevin Gentile. And then your top eight, the 71 of Blake Brown and the 9 of Dallas Frew. Losing a couple spots there on the restart, or the initial start, I should say, the 33 car of Paul, or I should say Stanzolans, as the pace car pulls off the track. Green flag, we are back racing. Let's see if Schaefer now gets down to the inside. He will. So single file up there in your top five. Weltmeyer, Schaefer, Danta, Clubb, your top four. Danta already taking a peek to the inside of Schaefer.
Anthony Danta really class in the field all week. I think he was on top of the speed chart every time I logged into a session to check it out.
Well, now Schaefer has his hands full with Danta as they go side by side. The advantage now to the 51 car. Let's see what let the 20 get down there. Let's see what Clubb and the 02 of Gentile can do. Now Schaefer battling back up on the high side as Danta got a little bit loose. Up front, loving it, the 16 of DJ Weltmeyer.
What caused that one? we got some debris on the racetrack.
Looks like the 7 of Gergate maybe has some damage. See if he maybe got into the wall or sideways again. Caution coming out. If we can find what it is, I'd love to pass. Jana might have had problems in the 2 car. Again, fans, I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating for us too when you're watching this, and we can't tell you who the caution is for. But you know, we're again our first time doing this, and we're the only way to go is up. So we'll keep working on this and kind of to hold on to that second spot. But I'm not sure if that's really an advantage, because now Dance is going to get to restart on the inside where that 51 car was pretty strong. So we'll see what happens. Weltmeyer, your leader. Schaefer second. Anthony Danta third. Cody Clubb in the 4th spot. Nice strong run so far early for the 0-2 of Kevin Gentile. It's funny because I can literally hear myself.
Chat service.
We'll get it. Again, fans, we appreciate you sticking through us for the inaugural Bentonhausen Virtual 100. As we mentioned early in the broadcast, if we start to stack up caution after caution early in the race, we might go to single file restart. So we'll keep you up to date if that's the case. Second caution already early on in this one, so we'll see how it plays out. A few more and you might see single file restarts. We did that on a practice race during the week, and it really seemed to help. We want to give these drivers, though, a chance to race it real, side by side. That's your best chance of advancing and gaining positions. Looks like Tedeschi in the 29 is going to take a wave around. So we'll stay with the double file here as long as we can, but if it starts to get out of hand, that's something that we're definitely going to look at. Rob Baker Ford pace car still pacing this field. Looks like Andy Jones in the 11 going to take the wave around. Chris, any surprises you see up there in the top 10? I know this is pretty much the guys that qualified up there, but...
Well, yes and no. I guess realistically, the surprises would be who's currently in the top 10, because we really didn't see them at all doing practice this week. But based on kind of who they are, that I'm really not surprised they're in the top 10.
Yeah, Kevin.
Paul Schaefer there. I haven't seen him all week, but here he is kind of doing a Dick Trickle, unloading, pacing the field and going.
Yeah, I mentioned Kevin Gentile. He just moved this week. As of Monday, he didn't even have internet at the new house. So he had a full week, I'm sure, trying to get ready. And like I said, a solid qualifying run and, top 5 so far early on. As you see the cars kind of getting the wave around, looks like we had some scoring issues. And again, it drives me crazy, but we're going to work it out and we're going to, like I said, hopefully we can get some long green flag runs, and this will be a lot more entertaining for you fans. Still Weltmeyer out front, as we said. Schaefer second. Let's see what the pace car
Looks like the lights are out.
does. Looks like he's going to...
Ducks down pit road.
Field, yeah. Side by side out of 4 green flag. We are racing. Schaefer with the good run. He's going to get alongside of Weltmeyer, gets into the wall, down to the bottom. He does. New leader, the 20 of Paul Schaefer Jr.
We got a car around in 4.
Sideways in front of the field. Chris Sontag with a heavy piece of that one. Wayne Coleman having to stop. Batson goes around up high to avoid that one. And I think single file restarts will become... Just got a little high. Brown got underneath them. Nowhere to go for the 3 of Sontag. Looks like he got the worst of it. Batson, nowhere to go. He spun up high. I don't think he got part of the wall. Gentile drives away. The 61 of Batson does too. As we said, looks like Sontag got the worst part of that one in the 3 car.
Yeah, and I think that goes right back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, the spatial awareness you have inside a real race car, not quite the same as kind of hearing the car next to you through your headphones.
So Schaefer, your new leader. They'll still be the same front row. Now Weltmeyer to the outside. Danta still lurking there in 3rd. Man, the 51 of Danta, he has come so close to winning one of these Bentonhausens, not just at Grundy County Speedway, but at Ileana Motor Speedway. And man, just some of the worst luck. He'd love to Super Series race, the first ever virtual Bentonhausen 100. And he'd like to put that 51 car in victory lane here tonight. A couple of Mid-Am guys. Cody Clubb in the 23. The 99 of Matt Clemens. A nice run in the top 5. Dallas Frew up there as well in the 9 car. Street stock driver. And Zolad's now back up to 7th after dropping back on the initial start. So we'll see how it goes here. Pace car lights are out. Ducks to the infield. Schaefer with a good start on the inside. No pressure at all from anybody. Weltmeyer looks like he's going to get down to the inside of Danta. No, did not get down there. Now Danta is going to challenge for 2nd spot. DJ Weltmeyer up high. Anthony Danta on the bottom. Cody Clubb right behind him. Now this is a no tire race, no pit stops to change tires, so these guys have to manage these tires for 100 laps. What do we got here? Caution flag. Lake Brown in the 71, Tim Scroggum in the 19. Well, I think I don't know. Was this 3rd caution, 4th caution? I lost track.
I believe this is 4th.
4 cautions out of 12. And the question is, do I get in trouble if I virtually swear on a broadcast? I'm going to be good.
As long as you keep it virtual.
Yeah. Oh, drivers are excited, man. Good racing up front.
Yeah.
With Danta, Weltmeyer, Schaefer. You got a couple guys there lurking. Cody Clubb, and now, Dallas Frew into the top 5. So, like I said, we got some good cars up front, and it'd be nice to just see a long green flag run and see what some of these guys can do.
Yeah, did a practice race earlier this week. Talked to Anthony Dan afterwards, and he said his driving style really suited to a long green flag run, and we still kind of waiting on one of those tonight.
Back on the pace car. We're not going green this time.
You know, Steve, earlier you were talking about drivers that almost won at Bettenhausen. I'm reminded there was a year that John Nutley back at Ileana almost had it and just ran out of gas. I'm a little concerned we might be in another one of those situations.
Yeah, we had a test race during the week where guys were running out of gas at the tail end of this thing. So fingers crossed as the pace car pulls off again. Paul Schaefer Jr. will lead the field down into turn one. Danta and Weltmeyer will continue their battle for the second spot. Dallas Frew now qualifier. Stan Zolad's now into the fifth spot. Hopefully these guys can settle in. Nice green flag run here. Field's starting to get pretty much single file. Again, guys, 100 laps. Let's keep our head and let's keep our tires underneath. It's got a long way to go up front. They went single file after Danta dived down to the inside trying to get around the 16. I wonder if he just decided to get in line and follow him and keep those tires in good shape. Looks like the 02 problems at the head of pit road. Let's see if he can back up and get on to pit road. But no, it looks like yellow is out again for the 02. Not the way Kevin Gentile wanted to see his night go after being second quick in qualifying. Getting caught up in a couple of yellow flags here. So tough break for Kevin. So getting word from the tower, one more shot at double file. So this will be a double file restart. Next caution, go single file. While we got a second, let's see if we can. Good, but how frustrating is it with all these yellows and you can't get a long green run?
Yeah, it's a lot of yellows, but they kind of help me get around DJ there. You know, just a little bit better than he is on the starts, so if we can keep that going, we'll be all right.
We just got word from the tower. This is our final double file restart. After that, everything's going to be single file. That'll probably help you out as the leader.
Yeah, that should be fine, and it should get us racing a little bit so we can put a show on, you know what I mean?
Well, thanks, Paul, for talking to us. We'll let you get back. We're going to be going green here soon.
Sounds good, thanks.
Paul Jr., our leader, wanting to see some green flag racing as the field doubles up for the final time this evening. And look at the 9 at Dallas Frew up to 4th. Tristan Batson working his sub. Be interesting here if we can get some green flag runs. We've proven that we can't do that so far. Maybe things will change. Schaefer again extends his lead. through 3 and 4. Danta, cooler tires. Let's see if he can maybe make a run on Weltmeyer. And again, looks like he just kind of pulls back in line to save his stuff, knowing we're about a fifth of the way through this race. So top 5 will go single file behind Weltmeyer. Kidding me, another yellow. Blake Brown down the back stretch. Looks like he might have had some contact. Oh, it looked like the 427 of Gentile got sideways, came across the track, hit the 71 who went up on its side. Some serious damage for a couple of these cars as Brown takes his 71 to the pit area. Gentile, the 427, has had an interesting night. He was a sub driver. Kevin Murphy was supposed to be driving that car. Last minute substitution, Dave Gentile Jr. ended up in it. As we see some of the drivers taking the wave around to get back in their proper spots. Chris, single file restart. You think this is maybe going to help some things? I know it did during the week, but what do you?
I know several of them are, when I pop down to grab people for interviews, it sounds like several of them are not real thrilled with how many caution flag laps we've had, and honestly, I don't blame them. I want to see some green flag racing. Hopefully this will help everybody calm down. We still have 80 laps to go here.
Well, I think the good thing is we're learn stuff from this race, and as long as we apply it to next week, like I said, I think maybe we started too many cars. We'll have to change maybe our format. With the last chance race not being run, added 5 extra cars. So we'll tweak it for next week and hopefully make it better as the green flag is out once again. Schaefer in the 20 inside, and then he kind of backs out of it and just decides to follow. Looks like that's what he's going to do this time as well. So let's see the field, maybe single file. Let's see if we can crank off some laps here. Frew still in the 4th spot. Zolad's in 5th. Matt Clemens in the 6th spot. Behind him, the 23 of Cody Clubb. Slow car down low. Looks like the 11 of Andy Jones, no caution. Behind Clubb, we got the 61 of Tristan Batson. Mitch Garfield in the 118 in 9th. Cameron Chrysler in the 5. Rounding out your top 10. Business picking up in the front of the field. Weltmeyer has caught Schaefer. Danta, thoughts of making a move on the high side. Got a lapper in front of him. We'll see how this plays out.
Well, it looks like Cameron Priestler around on the front stretch. Gonna bring out another caution. 5.
All by himself. Chrysler was running in the top 10 when that happened.
Well, Steve, it looked like we were trying to get a good green flag run going there.
Yeah, we'll see how this shakes out.
way. And we haven't had a whole lot of green flag racing, but we are 25 laps in. I wonder if maybe the tires are starting to show their wear a little bit.
And we'll see. There's still a lot of this race left to go. You see the scoring up there. A lot of guys laps down to get some racing in. Fans, I hope you're enjoying yourself. Again, we didn't expect 6 cautions. We, in the first 25 laps, we didn't expect a 20-minute delay at the start of the broadcast or a 30-minute practice in the middle of it. But we said coming into this, we're new. I've never done iRacing stuff before. On the broadcast side of things, Jeremy, Chris have never done stuff before. The race director side of things, we doing the best we can to try to get things cleaned up for stick through this to the end, see what we got, and see if we can get like I said, some tweaks to where it's going to be better for us next week. Looks like the lights are out on the pace car. Chris, we'll let you.
I'm not gonna hold it. Maybe pulls along stretch. Those two are gonna run side by side for a while there. A little bit contact coming through turn 2. So we go inside Weltmeier's car there. Looks like Dallas Frew's car. Sorry about that. Danta not quite having enough to get around Weltmeier. Falls back into line. As the front of the field kind of starts to shake out and get in line. Danta going to try again. Pulls up alongside Weltmeier. And Paul Schaefer kind of running away from this battle. Weltmeier still putting up a fight on the outside. Danta falls back into the line.
Still some good racing up front, though. I think Schaefer's enjoying the battle that he sees behind him as he gets to stretch that lead out just a little bit.
Like Batson looking to the inside of Club as Danta once again taking a peek to the inside of Weltmeier.
Yeah, great racing inside of the top 10 near Batson and Club, a couple of Mid-American Sportsman drivers at the Grundy County Speedway. Right behind them, the 118 of Mitch Garfield. Now a little bit of time space between Weltmeier and Danta. He was right all over that back bumper. Now a couple of car lengths in between. Dallas Frew staying right in the tire tracks of Danta. Fast qualifier Zolod's in 5th.
And it looks like for the first time tonight, we might be seeing if lap traffic has any effect.
Yeah, going to come up to the tail end of the field. DJ Weltmeier, let's see what he's going to do with some of these lapped cars as he follows the leader, Paul Schaefer, in the 20. Coming behind the 19 of Tim Scroggum. That'll be the first car they go to put a lap down. Then a couple cars side by side. Looks like the 9 of Chrysler and the 41 of Moniak possibly up there. Looks like Scroggum's going to go down to the inside. That'll help Schaefer. No, now Schaefer's going to cross him up and go to the inside of him. And he lost a lot of ground on that. That 6-car length lead is now about 2 car lengths. Scroggum off the wall a little bit down the backstretch. Now the leader's in heavy traffic. 3 cars right in front of him. Let's see what Paul Schaefer does in the 20. On the inside as he goes to the inside of the 5. Now Brad Plunkett, the next car in front of him, as well as the 41 of Matt Moniak. Weltmeyer's still about 2 car lengths behind.
Yeah, now would be when patience is a virtue. Going through this lap traffic, you don't want to burn your stuff up trying to get around them. Don't want to burn your stuff up trying to race with who you're racing with.
Don't tell that to Anthony Danta. He sees blood in the water and he's after him, boy. He wants to, if he can make a move up high or down low while these cars are going through lap traffic, he's going to see if he can do it again, pulling up to the high side in that 51 car. Weltmeyer looking like he's going to try the high side around Schaefer. Side by side at the line. They're going to go 3 wide around Moniak. Weltmeyer has to pinch it off the wall. Now Weltmeyer looks like he's going to have to make this move work, and if he doesn't, he'll probably drop back down to 3rd place. DJ Weltmeyer, Paul Schaefer Jr. touching contact. Oh, they straightened it out. No, Weltmeyer goes around. Tough break for DJ Weltmeyer. Schaefer, I don't know how he held on to that. Just some hard racing with some lap traffic.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay on this. That was wild.
That was just some good racing. You saw DJ a little bit sideways after they touched. You thought Weltmeyer was going around. You thought Schaefer was going around.
Looks like back behind them, Club and Moniak getting together.
Well, that takes a major player out of this race. And one less person for Anthony Danta to have to pass to get to the lead. So as we close in on the halfway point of this 100-lapper, Paul Schaefer Jr., Anthony Danta, and what about the street stock driver, the 9 of Dallas Frew, having one heck of a run. You can't count out tonight's fast qualifier, the 33. Maybe he's just been back there kind of biding his time a little bit, trying to let this sort out, save his tires, knowing it's a 100-lapper. He's in 4th. The 99, haven't said his name much tonight. The 99 of Matt Clemens. He's been a dark horse pick from a lot of people this week to see how he was running. The 23 of Cody Clubb behind him has been in the top 10 all night. 61 of Tristan Batson. Mitch Garfield, Brian Tedeschi. First time we've mentioned his name in the top 10 tonight. Is Tedeschi one to watch? Maybe just keeping his tires in check for the first 50 laps before he decides to start making a run. Regardless, business is probably going to start picking up now at the front of the field.
It looks like Paulie Schaefer going to be to the back of the pack involved in that caution, and it gives Anthony Danta the lead.
Oh, that I don't know if that was a good call or not. That was just racing there. Wow. I think a lot of people might want to sit and talk to the race director after the races tonight and talk to him about that call. I don't know, Chris, what do you think? To me, that was just racing. They just kind of hit sides a little bit. No intent there. I don't know, man.
Well, Steve, I'm kind of with you, but you know we still got half a race to go here. There's plenty of time, and we've seen.
Whoa, the pace car.
Pace car not bang by the commitment cone.
What are you doing, Albert? The light's off again. Not quite sure what that was, but we were talking tough break for the 20th Schaefer. Didn't think I didn't think there was any chance at all of him going to the tail for that, but not our decision. Now back to green, Anthony Danta, where he's wanted to be all night out in front of this field in the 9 of Dallas Frew. Boy, if he could put his name on this trophy tonight, what a deal that would be for him. Now starting to put a little distance between him and third place Zolot. Let's see if he can stick with Danta.
We are halfway through this now. So if we get some digital rain, this hopefully maybe will be an official event. I'm not sure.
As we watch the 20 of Schaefer and the 16 of Weltmeyer, going to see if they can work their way back through the field. Definitely two disappointed young men right there, running in the top two spots the first 50 laps for most of this race, and we'll see how it shakes out for them. Tony Brudy behind them, Matt Moniak racing in that pack of cars as well. Looks like we have 14 cars on the lead lap. 14th is DJ Weltmeyer. 13th, the 20 of Paul Schaefer. So they're the final two cars on the lead lap. We'll see if they can work their way through the field. If we can, Jeremy, let's go up front and kind of do a run through the field and let the fans at home see who the top 10 are. Throw their graphic up and show this field of drivers to the fans at home watching. There's the 9 of Frew, 33 of Zolans, 99, no number on that car. Fourth place of Matt Clemens, Cody Clubb in the 5th spot. Behind him in 6th, the 61 of Tristan Batson. 7th will be the 118 of Mitch Garfield. 8th, the 29 of Brian Tedeschi. 9th, Blake Brown coming back after that caution. 10th will be the 02 of Kevin Gentile. And 11th will be the 28 car of Brandon Norris. Behind him, the 86 of Colton Ix. Following him, the 24 of Jason Hendren and the 27 of Wayne Coleman. The SRC on the hood. Matt Chester in the 73, still on the lead lap, having a good run. And then the two cars that were just in that previous caution. The 20 of Schaefer and the 16 of Weltmeyer. Those are your lead lap cars up front. Anthony Danta really putting a lot of space between him and the rest of the field. Dallas Frew in heavy traffic. Now Zolaz is going to try to go around some of those lap cars as well. Steadfast time tonight, running third. That's the best he's been on the field tonight. 64 laps into tonight's 100-lap main event. Clemens right behind him, would love to take the spot as they deal with some more lap traffic. The 41 of Moniak. And the 63 of Brad Plunkett right in front of him. Definitely our longest green flag run of the night.
Yeah, this is kind of really playing into Anthony Danta's hands. You know, He was talking about having kind of a long run style, and he is just setting sail while everybody kind of dices it up in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, lap cars really starting to become a handful for some of those drivers. See those cars on the inside, the 23 at Club, 61 of Batson, the 118 at Garfield, the 29 of Tedeschi, all working their way through traffic. Dallas Frew in second. Now Danta looks like he has his hands full as Frew is starting to catch up to him a little bit in lap traffic. Looks like the 16 of Weltmeyer going to go a lap down. Must have got more damage than we thought in that earlier incident. Now Danta going to work his way around the 88 of Clay Kurtz. Battle further back in the field. Garfield now to the inside of Batson. Going to try to take that spot. Right behind him, the 29 of Tedeschi and the 71 of Blake Brown. Batson could lose 3 spots on this one. Tedeschi thoughts of making it 3 wide. Still door to door with the 118 of Garfield and the 61 of Batson. Great racing for that spot. Wow, leaning on each other heavy for that spot. A little bit of smoke from the car in front of him. Garfield finally going to be able to make the pass. Tedeschi gets by. Here comes Blake Brown. He's going to try to freight train the 61 back again, another spot. Oh, some contact. Batson on the brakes, goes around, and caution flag comes out. 23 laps to go for Anthony Danta. And Dallas Frew, the street stock driver, rookie of the year a couple of years ago. Didn't make any appearances last year at Grundy. He followed the CRA Street Stock Series and traveled the Midwest with that 9 car. Back here tonight at Grundy in the 2nd spot. So we'll see. Frew might have one more opportunity to make a run at Danta as the field gets sorted out and we move these lap cars out of the way. Chris, nice to see some green flag runs there finally for a while.
Yeah, a pattern I've kind of noticed happening, at least through the iRacing servers, it usually takes a little while to shake out all the cars that have plans on not making it to the end of the race. But once you kind of get the rhythm going, we got some pretty good long green flag runs, and we just come to the end of one here. It's going to be interesting to watch now how much Anthony is conserved to do this last little run, how much Dallas has conserved to try to make a run at Anthony. So we got 9 cautions on the night, which it realistically isn't terrible except for the kind of heavy on the cautions at the beginning of the race.
And I think Danta probably has got to save a little bit more because when he broke traffic, by the time he caught the lap cars, they really weren't stacked up as bad as they were. So I think Frew and Zolods and some of those guys further back in the top 5, Matt Clemens, Cody Clubb, they kind of had their hands full trying to get by some of those lap cars. Mitch Garfield in the 118, a strong run in 6th. I mean, he really had to work hard to get around the 61 of Batson. So some of those guys further back in the field might have used up their stuff while Danta kind of had that 51 car on cruise control. So we'll see how it plays out. 23 laps to go. Allison and Frank, I know you guys are watching at home, crossing your fingers. I know you guys have been here before with Anthony leading this thing late in the race. We'd like to see him bring this one home tonight. So we'll know when you know in another 23 more laps here.
It's like the lights are off on the Rod Baker Ford pace car. Should be coming to green once again.
Race car ducks in green flag. Danta charges into turn one immediately. A couple car length lead over the 9 of Dallas Frew. Frew now may have his hands full with the 33 of Zolot. They know it's late in the race, and if they're going to make a move, they need to do it now. Clemens fourth. Oh, sideways further back in the field. Garfield got sideways. Looks like he caught it, but cars went around him. Tough break for Garfield, who was running in sixth. Dance's still your leader. Now, as we said, here comes Zolot. Is he going to try to make a move on the 9 of Dallas Frew? Clemens is there. So is Cody Clubb. The top five have kind of broken away a little bit from the field. Nice, comfortable stat back to sixth place, Brian Tedeschi. We mentioned Tedeschi earlier. Has he been saving his stuff? Well, now's not the time to probably save any more with 18 laps left to go in this one. Danta looks like he is gone on cruise control. Nice, comfortable lead, but the battle behind him is starting to shape up to be a good one. Money on the line for these top three drivers. Still Frew holding on. Zolot's right there. Clemens now starting to close in on that third spot. And that's what Danta loves to see in his mirror. All these guys racing hard. Tedeschi not making up much ground in the sixth spot. Looks like this one might be settled by the top five cars as we go inside of Matt Clemens' car in the 99 on the podium with a third place run maybe. The lap starting to wind down. 13 to go for Anthony Danta. All the years of trying. Is this the year he finally gets the monkey off his back and puts the 51 car in victory lane? Lap still winding down.
We got contact in turn 1 and 2. Looks like the 27 at Coleman around.
27 of Wayne Coleman. Driving that Ed Hensel paint job with SRC Stashes Racing components on the hood. Let's see what happened to the 27. 28 of Norris goes to the inside and just some contact. Weltmeyer, a little bit of contact as well. A tough break for Coleman as the caution comes out. Well, Danta has done everything right tonight. Had a little bit of luck on his side when Weltmeyer and Schaefer got together. Does he have enough left in the tank, figuratively, literally, to get to the end of this one? The 51 of Danta, your leader. Dallas Frew second. Stan Zolot's in the third spot. Matt Clemens in fourth in the 99. Fifth, the 23 of Cody Clubb. Ryan Tedeschi in the sixth spot. Nice recovery for the 71 of Blake Brown behind them in seventh. Kevin Gentile in eighth after a couple of cautions that he was involved in earlier. Colton Nix, he was involved in a few earlier as well. And Paul Schaefer Jr., your leader earlier in the race. A little controversial, getting sent to the tail of the field. Racing hard with second place, and they both had some contact. So that is your top 10. Todd Baker Ford pace car off, hopefully for the final time tonight. And Greg Kuntz gives them the green flag with 10 to go. Danta, your leader, into 3. It's go time now for these drivers. Everybody's digging. Everybody wants a top 10. Everybody wants a top 5. Field pretty much single file. No side-by-side battles shaping up yet. Let's see what Zolod's is going to do with Fru for second. Out front, Danta has checked out. Top 3 nose to tail. Fru, Zolod's, and Clemens. And Cody Clubb get up into the mix. Tedeschi is there in the 29. Laps winding down. Zolod's again taking a peek to the inside. Tedeschi taking a peek to the inside of Clubb. Down the front stretch, here comes Tedeschi. First time tonight he's been in the top 5. Brown's going to get by as well. Clubb shuffled back. Five to go for Anthony Danta. Still the best battle on the track for that second, third, and fourth position. I don't think Tedeschi's going to have enough to challenge to move up into that battle. Up front, the 51 of Anthony Danta. 2 to go. Danta's going to get the white flag. Final lap of the race as we follow Anthony Danta around. For the final time, checker flag for the 51 of Anthony Danta. Rib sandwiches for everybody in the pits tonight as the 51 of Anthony Danta finally gets the monkey off his back and puts the 51 in victory lane for the Bettenhausen 100 tonight. Ironically, 51 laps led for the 51 car of Anthony Danta as he's going to do some victory donuts here on the front stretch. And we'll see if we can get a word here with Anthony as he unbuckles from the car. Anthony, Steve in the Grundy County Speedway booth. Man, you finally got the monkey off your back. How good does this one feel?
It's fun that we all got to do this and put on a little bit of a show. It was a little rough early, but it's pretty cool. I'm glad everyone raced and tried to make it as good as we could. Shout out to the washed up left turners. Group of us that we're has-beens, but we're still trying to make it happen in the virtual world here.
Anthony, you looked like you were kind of just biding your time back there in third. Could you run with the 20 and the 16, or were you just kind of biding your time with them? What was going on when you were just kind of back there in third spot?
Yeah, I was just hoping for a longer run, and I got to the inside of DJ there a few times, and the car's just tight, so I tried a little bit, and I knew I couldn't get it done without burning the right front up, so I just was patient, and I got lucky there with them two getting together. But I still think if we would have got to race it out, I would have had something to get by those guys. But it was fun, and glad you guys put this on for everyone. It's pretty cool.
Anthony, who do you got to thank here for getting that 51 car in victory lane?
My dad. He's been with me since go-kart days, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have done all the cool things that I've done. So thanks to my dad.
Cool. Well, fans, let's give a nice round of applause to the 51 of Anthem. Anthony Danta. We'll see if we can get second place down through in here, along with the 33 of Zolot's. Dallas Frew, Steve Bechtel here in the Grundy County booth. Second place run tonight, man. How happy are you with that run?
That was a lot of fun out there. I think we all knew that Danta was going to be the one to beat the whole time. I've seen him at Grundy, and he's just so smooth and methodical out on the track. But otherwise, it was a good race, really.
With all these late model drivers that competed in this event, Mid-American drivers, did you envision yourself being up here on the podium tonight when everything was said and done?
It was a little intimidating, but I think I put enough practice in throughout the week. I didn't really get into those practice races very much, but I put in a lot of laps just on my own and thought I figured something out pretty good, and apparently I did.
Dallas, who do you got to thank here for getting this 9-car on the front stretch here with the second place run?
My dad. He's the only other guy on my crew, so we're a two-man team, and we're doing the best we can with what we got right now.
Well, Dallas Frew, a solid second place run. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
And now going from a 2-man crew to about a 20-man crew. Second fast time. The invert put him back maybe a little bit farther than he wanted to, but looked racy towards the second half of that race. Stan Zolot's third place. Are you happy with that run, or wish you had a little bit more to contend for the win?
I definitely wish I didn't get caught in some wrecks. My car looks pretty bad. The handling went away really bad after that. So I was just kind of fight to survive at this moment in time. I'm pretty happy with the third place finish, by the way, this car.
Stan, we went into the night not really knowing what to expect. I know you maybe didn't know what to expect. At the end of the day, we had some hiccups and stuff, but how much fun was this? We couldn't be at the real Grundy County Speedway tonight. How much fun did you guys have tonight racing for all the fans, hundreds of people, I'm being told, watching online? How much fun was this for you guys?
It was tons of fun, really. It's all for the fans and the people that are itching to go back to racing their home track. It's pretty great to race with all the present-day people at Grundy, the past people, It's a great thing.
Well, Stan, thanks again for participating this week. Congratulations on quick time, and congrats on a solid third-place run tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, we can't do it without the Shuff Real Estate car, so thank you for having this for us.
Thank you, buddy. Chris Goodacre, thoughts on the first annual Bentonhausen Online, the first annual virtual race in the Grundy County Super Series? Again, had some hiccups, no denying that, but the fans hopefully stuck with us, and we kind of cooler heads prevailed on a lot of things here, and just a cool deal, man. At the end of the day, we started at 7. It's done by 10 o'clock. It wasn't even $12 to get in tonight, so everybody got to watch this in bed or on their couch or at their kitchen table. What are your thoughts on tonight's inaugural event?
Well, I definitely can't complain about being able to go to bed on time. It's about an hour and a half ride out to Grundy for me from home. So now I got a 30-second walk to the bedroom. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I would definitely prefer, I guess, being out in the infield with the real cars and the real noises, but this is about as good as we can get right now. And I had a lot of fun tonight. Yeah, we had a little bit of a rough start, but you'll have that. Even NASCAR had a rough start when they started doing this, and they got people far more experienced running a show than what we were able to cobble together tonight. But I think overall this is a good start to hopefully a good series.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, we plan on running these again on Friday nights. We're planning on opening a league for the fans, for the crew members, anybody associated with Grundy County that wasn't in this league tonight. We're going to do it with street stock cars, and like I said, we'll tweak the show. We'll maybe get rid of the qualifying races and last chances and some of those long practice sessions, and maybe just do a straight up X amount of cars qualify in and then we race. But no, definitely looking forward to it. Jeremy, maybe you could throw up kind of like the big graphic with the top 10 in order of how everybody finished tonight. You see there Anthony Danta, Dallas Frustan, Zolodz, Matt Clemens, Brian Tedeschi, your top 5, Blake Brown, Kevin Gentile, Colton Ix, Cody Clubb, Paul Schaefer Jr. Jeremy, what were some of your takes from tonight's event?
Well, once these guys actually got to race under some long green flag conditions, but even further back in the pack, between the 9 car of Fru, Stan Zolodz, Matt Clements late,